Hey friends, I've got a little less than quilting, but a really great way to fix up your home tutorial for you. Are you ready? Let's get stapling. You'll see. Well, welcome back everybody to So Well right here at Stitchin Heaven. I am your host, Rob Appell, and maybe we should call it Staple Well today. And yes, I am almost positive that everybody watching has at least one chair in their home they can quickly and easily pop the base out of and redo it. This one here is a little stained up and had a canvas on it before. And now today I'm going to be replacing it with this cool black vinyl, and real simple. There's a few things we need to know about it. And even these ones that I've already done here, they've turned out pretty terrific. They'll look better when they're put into their base, because a lot of times that'll take care of any of these ripples or wrinkles that we're seeing as we go around. But because it's a little bit thicker fabric, I do expect it to not turn out 100% perfect, but I'm not too worried about it. Cool thing is we're still using our standard rotary tools to get big, cool straight lines. I have 20-inch squares, which gives me a few inches all the way around, and I've got plenty extra at the corners. Now with my Quilter Select rotary cutter, I have two different settings. I have a kind of a standard cotton setting or the thick setting, which I use when I'm done quilting and I'm trimming bindings and things like that. But today also great for cutting multiple layers of this thick vinyl as well. Flathead screwdriver, probably some needle nose pliers in case things don't go well. Here's the key, folks. You want to use a real short staple. If you have an electric staple gun, probably even better. I've got my old standard manual, and I'm using a 1/4-inch staple, which is just going to be enough to hold the fabric in place, but something I'll never feel even if I sit down hard on my chair. So that's one of the things, and I didn't have the right staple. So of course I went off to the hardware store to get myself started today. Now we have plenty, and I think I've got plenty here in the old machine too. Completely empty. Okay, so now, because of the curve, that's what I'm most concerned about. So I'm going to tend to it first, leaving these side edges a little bit free, but I do want to be able to pull against as I'm working. So I am going to set one staple, making sure I've got plenty here. Simply trying not to hit, oh, I should have told you, plug your ears. Simply trying not to hit the other staples in the field. Now, I can either use my body weight to pull against this and wrap it around, or a lot of folks will actually turn it and push it this way so they can really see what they're doing. I'm gonna now start with another staple. It's gonna be loud. And I'm gonna set that right here in the middle. I'm not gonna worry if it doesn't go in perfect. And then what I wanna do is get a nice smooth curve as I work my way around, kind of seeing what's going to happen as I work my way to flat. So the smaller amounts of pull and staple we do, you can see there's a little bit of a gap that's going to go under the chair. I said gap, that's a ripple really, folks. And you can even see on the original one, staple, 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 staple constantly to keep those ripples under the seat and not as visible out on the front, okay? I'm just gonna kind of keep slowly pulling and working as I go around the corner, not ever getting too far out ahead of myself, actually, in either one direction. So now I'm gonna come back here, start working this way back around. Still using my hands and my body weight to kind of pull against it. These staples that aren't going in perfect right now, they can be pounded down a little bit later. I want to make sure that I'm making it as easy on myself down the road as possible. So often I'll kind of work a little ahead. And I'll be trimming out this excess when I'm all finished. That ripple there can be tended to as I go. Same thing's going to kind of happen in here, and I can do like a box corner on the squared edge, but here I don't want to get too much of a ripple or gap going. So again, I'm just going to continually pull, trying to get as much of the wrinkle that's created underneath. in the space where the chair wood will cover that up. You also don't want to pull so taut that you're crushing down the foam that's inside. And you probably noticed, but I forgot to point out, I'm working right on top of the original upholstery, at least one layer, because that actually keeps everything in place so I'm not fighting with it as much. I'm going to stop here, leave myself a little bit of time or a little bit of space as we come into that corner. Let's go back over here and keep working this corner together. Again, kind of pulling in. You also might want to look at the way the original upholsterer did it. I've realized after 3 or 4 of these that by running my staples in the way that they ran their staples, it's actually made it look a little nicer and cleaner as I'm going. But there from the top, that's going to look pretty sharp, folks. I'm pretty excited as we go. Any of those little ripples that might be showing up on top, you can put a little more effort into them. We just don't want to get any spaces that are too thick on the back that would cause the seat not to sit correctly in its seat. As we approach our box corners now, I'm going to go ahead and just prepare kind of a fold in and down over method, making sure I've got what I need. So I'm going to keep stapling up to this nice top corner, letting any of those last ripples work their way out. Same on this side. Okay, so for now, because I want to come down and over, and of course I don't want all that thickness, I want to be able to cut out mostly that triangle in there, okay? So this is where those wonderful Guggenheim, the thicker, heavier scissors come into play. And we don't want to cut all the way down, just a ways, right? So think about what you're cutting out, kind of this section here. So a lot of times I'll come at it at a little bit of an angle. Okay, now I'm going to bring this over, tucking it in, and allowing myself a nice clean fold. Hopefully you can see that okay there. If I need any extra, I can kind of like a snap, but a roll instead, you know, as I go through, holding it, pulling it. I'm going to get one staple there to secure it, and then I'm going to worry about what's happening over here, just like on the front and around that curve. I can control the way it looks like on the sides and the top by taking up some of that slack here on the back. Same on the other side. Visualize what you're doing, what's coming out. Tuck it over, pull. Got a little close for comfort there, so I'm going to actually put a staple in the corner. Then I'm going to let everything come back over. Remembering that I'm going to trim out all of this excess here in a moment. And I can see that's not holding, so I'm going to take a moment, pull those staples back out. Cut that excess away already. It's just in my way. Just like that. Now, careful of my fingers. I'm going to come around and start trimming back all of this excess as I go. Kind of lying my scissor flat as I go this way. Okay? So there it is. beautiful, wonderful new seat cushions. Those will be dropped in, and then there are some screw ports that will snug this down into its seat and make it look terrific. So anyways, I know we normally do quilting here at Stitchin Heaven, and I do apologize we don't sell this vinyl, but I wanted to show you all of the awesome things we can do with textiles. Now, of course, you can make yourself a quilt and do this with the 3-layered quilt. It won't last as long, but it would sure look terrific. Or if you've got one of those awesome antique chairs maybe sitting in that reading corner or something like that, don't forget you can cover your seats with your old orphan quilt blocks, and I think that that would be something terrific to do. Anyways, folks, thanks for joining me here today. We'll be back with another quilting tutorial real soon. Until I see you, please stay well. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. It really helps support our channel. If you haven't subscribed, do so now. Hit the little button to be notified every time we go live or do a new video for all of you. And here's one from the past I think you'll really enjoy.